Perhaps you know this scene very well. You unlock your phone almost without noticing. You only wanted to check one message, watch one short clip, see one update, but the feed begins to move, and you move with it. A few minutes pass, then half an hour, then an hour. When you finally look up, your body feels tense. Your mind is crowded, and yet you cannot clearly remember what you have just consumed. You might say to yourself with some frustration, "Why do I do this? I am tired, I have things to do, and still I keep scrolling." You notice that after these long sessions, your mood is more anxious, more restless. You compare your life, your body, your career, your family to what you see on the screen. You feel behind, smaller, not enough. And on top of that, you feel guilty for having wasted time. It is this modern struggle I wish to speak about with you. The phone in our hand, the endless stream of video and information, and the way it shapes our mood, our courage, and our connection to real-life tasks and real people. Now, let us slow down together and look at this with a gentler eye, not to condemn you, not to praise or blame the technology, but to understand what you are seeking when you reach for the phone and what it might be costing you when you stay there too long. A useful guiding question for us could be this: what is my scrolling trying to do for me right now? We usually think, I am just distracted, I am weak. The phone is addictive. But from my perspective, every action, even one that troubles us, is moving toward a goal. There is always some purpose, even if it is hidden. So again, what is my scrolling trying to do for me right now? Let us look at one simple scene. Imagine a person coming home after a long day of work. Their mind is full of unfinished tasks, small conflicts, emails that still wait. There is also a sink full of dishes. A partner who wishes to talk, perhaps children who want attention, or simply a deep loneliness in a quiet apartment. This person says, I just need 5 minutes to rest, and opens their phone. The first videos feel light and harmless. A joke, a cooking tip, someone exercising, a news clip. But beneath the surface, something important is happening. The phone offers a world where this person does not have to decide what to do next. No difficult choice, no real confrontation, no risk of failing or disappointing someone. The feed decides everything. All that is asked is to keep the thumb moving. In this moment, the scrolling is trying to protect them. It says, do not feel this heaviness, do not face these tasks, come with me instead. Seen from this angle, it is not simply laziness. It is a strategy to avoid feelings of inferiority, of I cannot handle this, or I might fail, or I might be alone with my thoughts. Now, I invite us to stay with this thought. If scrolling is a strategy, then we can ask, is this strategy actually helping me to live as I wish, among others, or is it quietly stealing my courage? You may have experienced this. After a long time on the phone, your tasks remain. The conversation you feared has not happened. The email is still unsent. The dishes are still in the sink. But now you are more tired, more dissatisfied with yourself. The feeling of inferiority has grown, not shrunk. So the phone has given short relief but long discouragement. Let us look at another example. A parent sits on the couch in the evening. They are scrolling through short videos that are carefully designed to be entertaining, emotional, surprising. Their child comes and says, "Look what I drew," or "Can you play with me?" The parent looks up, smiles, says a few kind words, but their hand still holds the device. The eyes return to the screen between sentences. Later, when the child is in bed, the parent remembers this moment. They feel a sting of guilt. I was there, but not really. I chose strangers' lives over my own child's eyes. In this situation, the phone was again a kind of shield. Perhaps the parent felt exhausted, unseen, overwhelmed by the day. The scrolling promised a private space where no one demanded anything from them. Yet, at the same time, this choice quietly undermined what they value most: a warm cooperative relationship with their child. We can again ask our guiding question: what was my scrolling trying to do for me in that moment? Was it giving me true rest, or was it helping me escape from the task of being present? Please notice, I am not saying that you must never look at your phone in the presence of your child or your partner. Perfection is not our goal. The courage to be imperfect means we can acknowledge our limits, our fatigue, our need for small escapes. But we are invited to see the pattern and to ask whether it fits the life we wish to build. Now let us consider the special role of social comparison in these video feeds. Many of these short clips show perfected moments: a body sculpted through years of training, a career triumph summarized in 15 seconds, a couple laughing in slow motion, a morning routine that looks almost sacred in its order and light. If we are not careful, we compare our entire complicated life with these thin slices of other people's highlights. You may lie in bed with the phone above your face, moving from one perfect image to another, without words. A message forms inside you: others are living, I am only watching, or others are ahead, I am behind. This is the old human wound of inferiority, now fed by a constant stream of images. From an Adlerian perspective, feelings of inferiority themselves are not the enemy. They are part of our human condition. They remind us that we are incomplete, that we can grow, that we are in need of others. The question is, what do we do with these feelings? Do we use them to move toward real contribution and connection? Or do we get stuck in comparison, where we either admire from below or try to feel superior by judging others? The endless feed invites a very lonely form of striving. We see others not as partners, but as rulers of a competition. We are always losing. We measure ourselves silently against people we will never meet. We do not ask, how can I cooperate with others? But am I good enough to belong? This is why I would gently ask you to carry another question in your pocket, along with your phone. Does what I see here help me feel more connected to real people, or more isolated and afraid? If the answer is more isolated, then the scrolling is again a strategy that has turned against you. You might wonder now, what should I do? Throw away the phone, quit all platforms, become a hermit? For most people living today, this is neither possible nor necessary. The aim is not to declare technology evil. The aim is to reclaim your role as the one who decides how you wish to participate in life. Our behavior with the phone is not separate from the rest of who we are. It belongs to our style of life, to the overall pattern with which we approach work, love, friendship, and community. If we tend to avoid difficult tasks, we will likely avoid them both offline and online. If we fear rejection, we will fear it in the office and in the comment section. The phone does not create these tendencies, but it can amplify them and make it easier to stay stuck. So, how might we move from avoidance to participation, from anxious comparison to social interest? Let me suggest a very small experiment. The next time you feel the impulse to open a video app, pause for just one breath. Place the phone in your hand, but do not unlock it yet. Ask yourself quietly, what is my scrolling trying to do for me right now? Is it trying to give you rest, to distract you from a task, to soothe a feeling of loneliness or shame, to avoid a conversation. Do not scold yourself for the answer, simply name it. Then ask, is there a small, real-life step I could take instead that would move me toward the life and relationships I actually want? Perhaps instead of half an hour of short videos, you choose to send one honest message to a friend, or you wash 3 plates from the sink, or you sit down and write 3 sentences for the project you have been postponing. The act itself can be tiny. What matters is the direction, from passive consumption toward active contribution. Another gentle experiment is this. Choose one part of your day where you will be scroll-free and task-present. For some, it may be the first 30 minutes after waking. For others, the first 15 minutes after returning home, or the time at the table during a meal. In that small island of time, you treat your phone as if it does not have the right to lead the way. Instead, you ask, what is the most encouraging thing I can do now, for myself and for those around me? It might be simply to drink water, to stretch, to listen to your child or partner with both ears, or to step outside and feel the air. I do not say this will be easy. The feed is designed to call you, but each time you choose a real-life task, a real conversation, or a real moment of rest, you strengthen in yourself the courage to be imperfect and yet engaged. You are saying with your actions, I may feel inferior at times, but I am still a participant in life, not only an observer. Let us also speak briefly about separation of tasks. When you watch endless videos, you may unconsciously take on tasks that do not belong to you. You worry about conflicts you cannot influence. You compare your body to a stranger's body shaped by genetics, time, and perhaps digital editing. You feel responsible for keeping up with trends that have no real place in your actual community. In Adlerian terms, we ask, what truly belongs to me here, and what belongs to others? Your task is not to keep pace with every new piece of content. Your task is not to fix the entire world each time the algorithm shows you a crisis. Your task is to decide within your sphere of influence how you will live, work, and love in a way that reflects your values and supports those near you. When you remember this, the spell of the feed weakens. You can say, this video is interesting, but it is not my task. Or, this person's success is their task and their story. My task is to take the next step in my own story. And now, I would like to return once more to our central questions. What is my scrolling trying to do for me right now? Does what I see here help me feel more connected or more alone? Is there a small, real-life step I could take instead that serves my wish to belong and to contribute? If you bring these questions gently, without harshness, into your daily life, the phone may stop being a silent ruler and become again a tool that you use with intention. You will still have evenings where you scroll longer than you wanted. You will still fall into comparison. You are human. But over time, you may notice that you interrupt the spiral more often. You may feel that you are slightly more present at the table, more honest in your relationships, more willing to face a task instead of running from it into the glowing screen. And then, something subtle changes in your mood. Instead of the restless anxiety that comes after an hour of unconscious scrolling, you begin to taste a different feeling. I am not perfect, but I am participating. I am not the best, but I am needed. I am not always calm, but I am learning to direct my life, rather than allowing the feed to direct me. This is encouragement, not flattery, not illusion, but a clear view of your effort and your movement. As we close, I invite you to choose one moment in the coming days when you usually escape into your phone. In that moment, pause, take one breath, Ask your question. And then, if you feel able, take one small step toward real life, a task, a conversation, a walk, a gesture of kindness. You do not walk this path alone. Many people across the world are learning, just like you, to live with these powerful devices without surrendering their freedom, their courage, and their sense of community. We are all beginners in this new landscape. If you can remember that your deepest wish is not to be an impressive image on a screen, but to be a real person among other real people, then each small choice away from the endless scroll and toward genuine contact becomes an act of quiet courage. I trust that this courage already lives in you. You have shown it many times in other parts of your life. Step by gentle step, you are simply learning to bring it into the way you hold your phone, the way you direct your attention, and the way you return again and again to the unfinished, imperfect, but meaningful tasks of your own life. Thank you for taking this time to reflect with me. If something in these thoughts has been helpful or encouraging, you might choose to stay connected here. Perhaps by subscribing or by leaving a small sign of appreciation for this conversation. You may also wish to pass it on to someone who could use a gentle word today. In this way, we continue to grow together in courage, in belonging, and in quiet mutual encouragement.